Alright, so today we're going to take a look at Transformers Prime Deluxe Class Airachnid. Now, before we get started, most of you have probably heard already some rather negative reviews of this figure. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. It's definitely not the best figure of the line. However, I don't think it's as terrible necessarily as some reviews have made it out to be. Now, so let's go ahead and take a look at her vehicle mode. She is the helicopter. That is one of her modes in the show. Does not have the spider mode, just the robot mode and the helicopter mode. And the helicopter mode doesn't look bad, really. It's a nice, sleek little black helicopter. Purple helicopter blades. A nice purple, pinkish, clear cockpit canopy. That's kind of cool. My major complaint is if you come here to the back of the helicopter, there's her feet hanging off the back, which, kind of sucks. But, if you look at Starscream, you can see his feet in his jet mode too. So, it's just one of those things with flying Transformers. It seems to be that their feet are exposed in alt mode. But, the blades do spin quite freely. Very nice. Now, this mode is kind of small. It's not a big alt mode, but that sort of fits with the theme of the new deluxes and everything. Things are getting smaller. The cockpit does open. You can't open this if I can get my hand in there. Well, come on. Come on. Well, we'll show that off once I get this out of the way. The blades, we'll take these off for transformation, and then this has to open for transformation, and we'll show that off. Now, her weapons. She comes with two of these little stinger things. Now, it's really got some nice detail in them. Nice purple and gold, yellowish with the black. Very nice molded detail in there. Two pegs, one on the side, one on the bottom. And she has peg holes right here on either side of her as well. So you can take these and you can peg them in on either side, just like so, and have them just like that, which I think is the better way to display them. I think that looks better because you can also put them on this way, which I'm not such a fan of. And of course you can rotate back, forward, either way as well. But not bad. I don't mind these so much. They don't look too bad if you ask me. At least not in her helicopter mode. Robot mode, we'll get to how they look when we get there. For transformation, we'll go ahead and pull those off, set those to the side. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the helicopter blades, pull those off, take these, we'll set those to the side. Then we'll come over here and we will pull up the cockpit. Come on. There you go. And we'll get a look in there real quick. Not sure if you guys can see it real well, but there is a seat in there. And it's that same color plastic as the cockpit. So that's very nice. But at the same time, that's a bit of a problem when we get to robot mode. From here, we're going to take the nose, flip it up, fold that down. We're going to come over here to the side, and we're going to pull these out. These are going to be our arms. We're going to pull them out and rotate down. And that's, at least on my figure, that joint is very tight. And when I first did this, I felt like I was going to break something down. And I'm not sure if we can get in there. There might be some stress forming on those joints a little bit from the pressure. Not sure. Alright, and then we're going to come back here, we're going to take these, and we're going to lift up and back, just like so. So you got that going on. Take her legs, split her legs, pull her foot forward, like so. And we're going to come up here to the arms. We're going to pull the arm, straighten the arm out a little bit, and then rotate her hand down, like so. Same thing on this side. Straighten the arm, rotate the hand. Okay? And then for the head, we're going to take this whole back piece right here of the helicopter, and we're just going to pull it up. And that will lock into place, as you heard it snap in right there. Okay? Now, set her to the side for a second. If I get her to stand, she is a little back heavy, with, you know, most of the helicopter hanging off of her back. Come on. Come on, Airachnid, stand. There we go. And she falls. Alright, well, we'll come back to her in a second. Come to these. You're going to take this helicopter blade, rotate it over, and we're going to bend here at this joint, like so. And we're going to come back, we're going to peg it back into her back, and there's this little peg hole right here. That's going to peg onto this right here so that it holds these from flopping and rotating down, so that they're kind of hanging off behind her. Now, if she'll cooperate, and get her to stand. Come on. And we'll take these and we'll go ahead and peg her weapons into her hands for a second. That should help her stand, balance her out a little bit. Ugh, there we go. In theory. You are not. There we go. Raise the camera up a little bit. And here we have Airachnid in her robot mode. Now, again, there are problems in this mode as well. More problems in robot mode than there were in her vehicle mode, that's for sure. To start, she does have, you know, most of the helicopter hanging off her back. You know, we've gotten that before. Not that big of a deal if you ask me. Big problems come with just the kibble. Really limits her posability. The legs can only go in and out about that far because of this back here getting away with this panel here. That's the limit of their motion. Back and forth only goes that far, again, because of stuff getting in the way. The knee bend's pretty good, but you know how much you can do with that with all this junk hanging off the back. Her feet, this helps with her stability right here, kind of like having a second heel, but still, as you guys saw, I was having a hard time getting her to stand. The arms, they are on a ball joint right here at the shoulder, but again, you got to do some finagling to get around all the panel junk, and even then, if you're going to rotate all the way around, you got these hanging out back here which get in the way. Now, the rest of her arms are really kind of strange. She's got this weird little joint thing going on here, so you got motion there and here, but they really like to collapse and stay just like that, like they were in helicopter mode, which is kind of annoying. Her hands, pull one of these off. Her hands suck. There's this flat piece of plastic molded in the shape of fingers with a big hole in the middle of it, and it looks flat out terrible if you ask me. Their hands are really bad. All they do is swivel back and forth from transformation, and they only come down that far because of this piece of plastic right here. And there's nothing you can really do with the hands other than just let them sit there flat and look bad. And even with her weapons pegged in, you can see still that her hand is just flat with a weapon pegged in the middle of it. You know, I don't think the weapons look as good in this mode as they do in vehicle mode. They look better if you ask me. Her head has a very nice head sculpt. I like the head sculpt a lot. However, her posability is very limited because the back of her head is the chair that you saw in helicopter mode. So when you turn the head, the chair is bumping against everything back there in the cockpit. So that's all the motion you get out of her head right here. Also looks like she's set up for some very nice light piping, but stuff also gets in the way of that, and the light doesn't really get through to her eyes, which is a shame, because it looked like could have been pretty cool. Now, the weapons go here in the hands, as you see over this side. They can also go up here on the shoulders, or if you so desire. I almost kind of like that a little bit better, pegging them in back kind of there. If you ask me, I almost kind of prefer. Come on, stand up, Airachnid. You know you want to. There we go. But that's your personal preference. Quick comparison. Here she is next to her nemesis on the show, RC. Of course, I guess on the show just about everybody is her nemesis right now. As you can see, she's a bit taller than RC. She's a little bit bigger. But they do, for display purposes, they look pretty good together. You're not going to get a whole lot of posability or real playability out of this figure. So it all really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to complete the cast of the show, pick her up. I mean, she doesn't look terrible on the shelf. If you want to play with the figures, if you're looking to get some real dynamic poses out of them, you're not going to get that out of this figure. I mean, she has problems, that is for sure. She is far from the best figure of this line. Is she the worst? You know what? I like her better than RID Bumblebee. Now, Hot Shot I prefer over her, because the new paint job and head sculpt on Hot Shot I think went a long ways to making that mold better. But Bumblebee and the new Stealth Force, or whatever they're calling it, Bumblebee, that's in her wave as well, I don't care for either. So I like her better than Bumblebee. But again, she has lots of problems. So it all depends on what you're looking for. Also, I forgot, she also has, and this I really do like, because a lot of the figures in this line right now, deluxe size, don't have it. She's got a nice little Decepticon symbol right there on her chest. Love that. Really missing that on a lot of the figures. I know the Viacon has it, she's got one, and Dead End has one as well, which is very nice. That's a nice touch. That goes in her favor, if you ask me. But there you go. Transformers Deluxe Class Airachnid. Don't forget, guys, to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later.